Alright. So guys, this is Outworld Battlegrounds. It's a top-down, sprite-based, kind of sci-fi Halo-esque, a little bit inspired battle royale game. And by all accounts, it looks like it could be a lot of fun. Could be. However, we're not actually going to be getting into a match, and I'll explain why as we talk in this video. This is the main screen. This is what loads up when the game starts. You may wonder to yourselves, why is there a Windows Task Manager little bar at the bottom? Well, that will become more apparent in a little bit of time, but I do want to point out that on this, again, sprite-based game, just on this main lobby screen here, it's consuming 1 gig, okay, whatever. It's also consuming between 12 and 15 CPU, or 9 to 15, I suppose. That's a little bit much. Now, the reason I'm not going to be able to get to a match is I've actually spent, let's see, what time is it, 6:22? So I've spent about an hour and 20 minutes with the very patient streamgoers here that bore witness to my attempts. Hello, everybody in the stream. Thank you very much for being patient. These guys had a deal with my stream crashing repeatedly. The chat died. And just general confusion. They're still sticking here, though. Because they're a good audience. Chatgoers, feel free to comment about what I'm saying or share your own thoughts at any point. I spent about an hour and 20 minutes trying to get this game working before I finally am doing this proper recorded review, I suppose. It honestly looks like it could be fun. Kind of reminds me of some Flash games back in the day. I don't know if you guys remember, I think it was called Stick Fighter. You were a stickman, it was a top-down view. Very simple, it was a Flash game. A lot of fun. Very fun. Stick Fighter was a blast. I enjoyed the hell out of that. It kind of made me think, like, okay, top-down, simple graphics, but kind of a battle. That was before the battle royale craze, the Stick Fighter game. But even so, I feel like Stick Fighter could be expanded into a more battle royale concept. But anyways, off topic. Outworld Battlegrounds. I can't play it. I tried. I really didn't think much of any sort of... I didn't expect any computer issues. Yes, I will self-admit I do not have the world's best computer. But I also don't have the world's worst computer. And I think the 333 or so Howler for an Hour review vids I've done attest to this. I should point out, this is important to point out, this is unfortunately, in a way, my first paid gig on the Indieboost Partner Program. This is a paid review. Possibly. Not really sure if I'm going to get money after this review. We'll see. But, yeah, the idea here was, much like a Howler for an Hour, I always get review keys when I play Howler for an Hour. Every Howler for an Hour I do, that's based off a review key that I've received from the developers to give my fair review on the game. And I like the concept. It's cool. It's a nice flow. That's why I've done so many Howler for an Hours. It's fun. I enjoy doing it. This paid gig was an Indieboost gig, and this was going to be a little more special because I'm getting direct payment as well as a review key. Unfortunately, I can only review what I can experience, and I can't experience a whole lot with this game. I will demonstrate this in actuality. I will actually begin a match at the end of this video. There's a reason I'm not going to do so until the end of the video, though, and that is simply that XSplit will crash, or my computer will hang up and I will be forced to power it off. In fact, by ending the review by showing this, I am most likely putting my computer at some form of risk. But I will do so for the sake of as much of a comprehensive review as I can actually perform. But basically, that CPU bar down there, I do want to point it out. It will be bouncing to a memory usage of 6 gigabytes when it tries to load the map. So basically what happens here is that if I were to hit play over here, if I were to start a match, we would enter a loading screen. Standard enough. There's a countdown. And the map is loading. And it will hang up. It will eventually, at least 3 out of 4 times, one time it completely froze the computer, 3 out of 4 times, it did eventually get to the match. But by that time, I had either died or was almost about to die to the, well, it's a Battle Royale game, your typical wall of death. The stream viewers did catch one of those times where I actually survived through the loading, but I was AFK at the time, attempting to see if there was some other means I could load the game, perhaps on my boyfriend's computer, but that's not going to be viable, by the way. I was seeking alternatives at that time. But, yeah, streamgoers, what did you experience as far as what you tried to watch during that? I believe XSplit died repeatedly, my recording software, while we were trying to load the maps. And honestly, yeah, again, it looks like it could be a fun game, but without the ability to actually load it up, I can't say so. We could criticize my computer over this. Streamgoers, I don't have the strongest computer. You guys know this after 333 hours. At this point that, you know, I have to balance settings. I have to lower a few things here and there. And I guess I should note that in the settings here, the first time when my computer hung up, I had the settings at their defaults, pretty much. I had the resolution at 1600 by 900. This is nice. I like that resolution for a lot of things. But I lowered it down to 1280-720. I also turned off VSync. I also turned off player shadows. And I reduced the level of detail from high to low. This stopped my computer from being hung up, from what I understood, but I only got into the match too late for it to actually make a difference. Beyond that, nonetheless, 6 gigabytes of memory. That is a lot of memory, and that is the reason my computer is probably having an issue with this game. Now, what complexes me, or perplexes me, perplexes my complexion, is that if this is a sprite-based game, for what reason would it have to seize up 6 gigabytes of memory, which, you know, most games on Howler for an Hour that I played do not seize up that much memory, even the 3D ones. And I'm not saying that a 3D game is inherently more complex than a 2D game, but what I am saying is I have a pretty good hunch that what this game actually does is loads the entire map at once, not just the area you're in. And again, I want to remind you, this is a Battle Royale game. The map is very big, from what I can tell, anyways. The loading screen has a map of it, and if I were to judge off of that, I would say that it is most likely loading the whole thing at once into memory, rather than just the section or quadrant that you currently are located in. That would be the only reasonable explanation as to why this game would acquire 6 gigabytes of memory when it's trying to load the map. Obviously, it's not acquiring 6 gigs right now in the lobby, but the moment the map attempts to load, it raises to 6 gigabytes and it will remain there until returning to the lobby. So let's see what the streamgoers are saying. Lots of crashing during load-ups. 70-second latency happened on my end, then a crash. This game actually trashed Charm's computer once. It did. The Ring of Death combined with the Ring of Loading is proven to OP. There wasn't exactly much to watch, just loading screens and crashing. We experienced a lot of crashing. I joined not too long ago, so only saw the stream reset recently. By the way, Prate, I think this is your first stream here. Very sorry that it started off so poorly for you. I'm trying my best, but I can only do so much, I suppose. There was a bit of latency, and then the stream started to stutter more and more frequently until the stream crashed. Maybe we should also mention the options menu, the lack of options. Sure. So the options menu is a bit odd. Because the video settings are pretty standard. They seem functional. Input seems pretty functional too. They seem like pretty standard controls. WASD to move, sprint to shift, interact E, primary, secondary fire with the mouse clicks, reload of R, equipping items, weapons with number keys, healing with 1, 2, 3, inventory tab. I do believe this operates in a sense of, WASD and mouse aiming. Pretty standard top-down shooter sort of, logic. But the weird thing, it is a bit odd. I mean, this is not really a point in or against the game's direction, but there's nothing under game. It says at the top of... Now, granted, it says at the very top, game input and audio options are unavailable. Well, technically, input is available, but they are correct in saying that game and audio options are not available. It's very perplexing, though. The audio might be a bit quiet on this video. It's actually at max volume. That's the perplexing thing, and obviously... Like, in my task, in my volume control, this is 100% volume. And since there's no audio options, well, that's what you got. theoretically I could turn it up more in XSplit, but I mean, I already have it pretty loud, and I already have my settings in XSplit pretty loud, so it's kind of perplexing it's so quiet, but that doesn't really matter. That doesn't really matter. It does seem like there might be, you know, cosmetics to get. There seems to be a number of inventory slots for different things. Like a default diamond knife. It literally looks like a Minecraft knife, like if there was a knife in Minecraft. It's interesting. It's really, it's like without the energy filter, it just kind of looks like a Minecraft item. There's a shop. I've earned some. You may notice I actually did earn some credits. This is for dying after the game finally loaded. I earned a few random credits. So cool. There's characters you can buy, I guess. These are some odd names. Mark 1, Hans, Midnight, Sandlurker, Throne, Trown, Sticks. Okay. There's loot boxes. Oh. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. How do you get this currency? I asked suspiciously. How do you get crystals? Oh, that's how you get crystals. Oh, that's how you get crystals. Oh, that's how you get crystals. Spend real money. Mm-hmm. So we're doing that. I should note this game is not free on Steam. At least I do not believe it's free on Steam. Let me check. No, it is 10 CAD, probably like 8 USD on Steam. Let's go to the Steam page. Here's the Steam page for Outworld Battlegrounds. I'll link it up. I'll link it up in the description, but also link it up in the chat for all the chat goers currently. Outworld Battlegrounds. Drop into a distant planet and be prepared to fight for your life. Outworld Battlegrounds is a fast-paced 2D top-down battle royale shooter, starve nothing but your trusty knife and help you find something of a bit more of a plasma punch. More than 90% positive early access reviews. Okay. And this is what the gameplay looks like. It says I'm not able to show it off. Here's what it looks like. It has squads, it has duos, it has singles, solos. I think it has squads. Let's see, did it have squads? Yeah, it has team and duo, so yeah. It's your standard fare, you know, for setup for a battle royale game. Also, look pretty good. Like, honestly, look like, you know, I play it. I would play it. I would absolutely play it if it wanted me to play it, but it doesn't. That's the unfortunate thing. Let's scroll down. It just went live 1st of August, so they're trying to build up, you know, they're trying to build up some hype for it, obviously. That's why I got the gig. Actually, let's see here what I was asked to read here. It's right here. So, this is going to be a half-hour video, to the best of my ability anyways. That's how long they want the review, so I'm going to match that, even if I can't play it. I'm going to talk about it as much as I can. They want sales on Steam, which is understandable. Now, stream growers, you noticed, you had a hunch that when I joined matches there weren't that many players. I kind of got that hunch too, but I'd like to hear it from your guys' mouths, especially since you guys currently watching live were there when the game actually loaded properly for once. Somebody remarked that they thought there were bots around and that it wasn't actual players. I could believe that. But the developers do want people to buy the game, which standard statement really. They wanted me to direct my viewers to the Outward Battlegrounds Steam store, so I will provide links. They also say that if people aren't ready to buy because money's tight or whatever, that's cool. But, you know, I apparently should remind you guys that wishlisting on Steam is always an option. So basically, I should recommend that you buy it if you want to, or if you don't want to, maybe consider wishlisting it, or if you don't want to do that, don't worry about it. I'm sure this would actually be fun if your computer is, like, like pretty powerful, because I'll be quite blunt, this game seems from everything I could tell, this game is poorly optimized. From what I can tell, it's loading the entire map when it shouldn't be loading the entire map, rather than just the section I'm in. So, nice, kept to the script. You know, I'll keep to the script. I'll keep to... I will state what I am asked to state with these gigs. But I will also state them in a way that is genuine to what I feel. So I could say, honestly, like, I could see somebody wanting to play this. I really could. If you've got a really beefy computer and you don't have to worry about optimization of your sprite-based game, which you should never have to worry about, but I digress. If you've got a computer that's pretty powerful, then you probably won't have any issues with this. You know, if you got, like, you know, 16 gigs or more, probably be fine. I'm gonna guess. Maybe. Yeah, that was it, Zephyr said, I died in the death field after loading, and I was rank 4. Good point. I was rank 4 during one of those, which is very weird. It's very weird I got rank 4 when I couldn't fucking play. Which indicates that there's probably not that many people playing. Beerus said, the game's been dead since December. Well, let's take a look at your link. Let me finish what I'm reading here, though. So it went live 1st of August. Java did this to be prepared to fight for your life. Outworld Battlegrounds is a fast-paced 2D top-down battle royale. Sure, yeah, I already read this. Outworld Battlegrounds is the first time a top-down battle royale game has been done right, thanks to its tension-building vision system. Like most top-down games, the environment around the player is totally visible. However, any player or dynamic object that would otherwise be hidden from your direct line of sight is not. This allows for the kind of paranoia a battle royale game should produce. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, so basically, you can see here, actually, like with this screenshot. You see this vision cone here? See this triangle going out? That shows where you can see. So basically, a player could be in the dark sections of that one room in the upper right, and they wouldn't know. That is a good system. I like that system in a lot of top-down games work pretty well with that because you don't know what you're dealing with and you have to be a little more on your toes. So that's a good concept. I would say, however, that first time, maybe, I don't know if it's the first time. It might be the first time. I'm not sure. I can't check that statement. But, that's a good system, but I wouldn't say it's exactly done right. To say this game would be done right would be to optimize it better, in my personal opinion, to make it more playable. In fact, you would probably have more players at Outworld Battlegrounds if there was better optimization. I can't imagine I'm the only one that couldn't run this game correctly or had some sort of issues with the lack of optimization. And I can't say if it's the map loading all at once. I really do feel like it is. Here's the map, by the way. I really feel like it's this sucker loading everything at once. That would definitely explain the load times when trying to load a match. If it's not that, then it's probably something else related to optimization. Because again, 6 gigabytes of data, 6 gigabytes, of RAM, being sucked up for a game with a graphical fidelity that looks really nice. I like the pixel work, but it's not really something that should be eating 6 gigabytes in any universe. It shouldn't be doing so. Heck, and this isn't a dig against the game again, but I could see like these graphics. Honestly, I could see them on a DOS game, and that's not an insult because I actually fucking love DOS games. There's a lot of great ones out there. So just if something has DOS graphics, I might actually like pick it up because I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is nostalgic. But yeah, if something looks like this and takes 6 gigabytes, there's something wrong there. There's something that shouldn't be happening there. Look at the Steam requirements. They are so wrong. Let's take a look at the Steam requirements. It's a good point. Okay. Minimum. Requires a 64-bit processor and operating system, Windows 7, 2 gigahertz dual core, 4 gigabytes RAM. That is very incorrect. Wait, recommended, also 4 gigabytes RAM. Well, that's not true at all. And I will demonstrate that personally. As, basically at the end of this video, I'm going to load a match. I'm only going to do it at the end, because that will most likely be my outro. Because there is a very, very large chance the video stream will die while I'm loading the match. Before it dies, though, we will see it take 6 gigabytes of RAM. If not a bit more. We'll see what it does. But that is definitely incorrect. It most certainly needs 6 gigabytes of RAM at the very least. That would be the minimum. In fact, I would say 8 gigabytes of RAM would be too little. So, yeah, that's odd. The reviews are pretty positive, as you can see. People generally enjoy it. But it is worth noting something. These all are from 2018, November. This one's 4th of July, so this was a little more recently. Wait, hold on a minute here. Hold on. Oh, okay. So this review right here is very interesting. A wonderful take on a saturated genre, delightful pixel graphics, and the top-down view gives it a wonderfully retro vibe. The line-of-sight system adds some tactical depth to combat. You'll be checking corners and waiting to ambush people in no time. Given that it's free, there really isn't much to complain about. Worth a download. When this game was in proper early access, it was free. When it released for full, it released for, well, 10 CAD or around $8 USD. Now, that's not unusual that an early access game becomes more expensive when it fully releases, but it is a bit odd that it went from free to costing money. Especially when you consider, again, they already have a system in place to earn money from players in game. There's just something that feels a little off about that to me. That could just be my personal opinion. But it is worth noting. Demo. I see. The demo is nowhere to be seen, but you can search for a demo, but it's not actually there. Is that right? So they removed the demo, in other words, which is probably just the free release. I wonder if it's trying to run the bots in your PC. Locally run bots to replace the lack of players. That would definitely eat more. That would definitely eat more memory as well. That's possible as well. What was that? Let's see here. But it is interesting because mostly reviews March, December. Yeah, these were all reviews posted in early access. So in early access, all right, here we go. Lots of netcode latency issues. I could see that. I can't tell for sure. Choppy gameplay. Well, I wasn't able to get to the gameplay, so I can't comment on that. I'm going to look at any critical reviews because I'm just kind of curious if they're shitty critical reviews or have a point. There's a few. My gun didn't work and then my game crashed. Gotta say nay to this one. That was in February. Actually, hold on. February and March. So the two negative reviews were more recent, while the more positive reviews, well, they're a mix. They're all over the place. But there's quite a few that were older than that. Interesting. Okay. So let's see here. December 2018. Game still live. Looks cool, but the game stalls in matchmaking for a long, long time. The options button is grayed out. Matchmaking should be a bit faster as yesterday. Options will be only available until next page patch. We're just a few things able to place tonight. So, yeah. Well, this is not unusual. I mean, this is why I've been asked to review it. They want hype to be built. They want more people back in. So they want influencers. Is that word pretentious? I can never tell. They want influencers like me to you know, get people back in the game. Which is not the first time, mind you. There have been several Howler for an Hours that I have done where the general point was, have this review key because we really need people playing our multiplayer game. There's not enough people playing, and that is a death knell for a multiplayer game when people aren't playing, you know, obviously. Still, though, with this level of optimization, I would honestly be happy to give this a shake and add to the population a bit, but with this lack of optimization, well, and this loot box system doesn't exactly make me happy. I mean, I wouldn't be against this loot box system if the game was running slickly, but seeing as it's not running slickly, yeah. Beerus, what are we at time-wise? Also, to address what Serial Can said, in the bit of gameplay we saw, you took damage from the death zone before it reached you. Interesting. Interesting. Thank you for noting that. So in other words, there was definitely some sort of in-game lag going on because I was taking damage from a source that wasn't, in my view, touching me. That does indicate netcode issues, and The death wall of all things should be something smoothly coated. Also, my boyfriend is apparently screaming. I don't know what that's about. 5 minutes left. All right. So, Streamers, what is your opinion of this game? Have I been unfair? Am I doing anything wrong here with this review? This is the best review I can think of coming up with, given the circumstances. But what do you guys feel? This applies to both you guys and also YouTube. YouTube commenters, tell me what you think. I'm sorry I can't do better. I also don't know how the whole Indieboost gig system really works. This is my first gig, and that's really the most disappointing thing here. I really wanted my first Indieboost partnership gig to be something I did a really good job on, and you know, I comprehensively looked at, and I'm trying my best. I am doing the most comprehensive thing I can manage to do. I hope it's enough. You guys know me at this point. The number one sticking point I have when I've done Howler for an hour is when I see something that is poorly optimized, it usually gets me irritated. I don't care what your game looks like. I don't care how your game plays. I mean, I do. I care about those things. But before that, I care about how it runs. I care about, if something is a good experience, I want as many people as possible to enjoy it. That is my sensibilities as a game developer myself, as somebody who has worked as a hobbyist with RPG Maker and is now working on an official game he hopes to sell on Steam himself. I want people to enjoy the game. That's the first and foremost thing. And if the game isn't running properly, that needs to be fixed. If it runs fine for people with beefy computers, that's cool. If it's a really high detail game, I can understand that being the only audience you focus on. But if it's a game that theoretically a larger audience with a more diverse set of computers should be able to run, then make it run for it. I know it's not snap your fingers just like that. Game development's hard. I understand. I have been there. But if optimization wasn't the first thing on your to-do list when you're producing a game, if that wasn't in your core mindset, if that wasn't in the core decisions you made, there's something wrong. That is very important. Optimization's useful for people with beefy computers anyways. Lets them run more things at once. If something's a little more lightweight, runs more efficiently, then they can load up other shit while they, got double monitors, go and play another game while they play their game. Who knows? Who knows what people want to do when they have a beefy computer, All sorts of things. In any case, thanks for your opinions, guys. The only thing that could have saved this game is they pushed some kind of really bad patch that made this version of the game unplayable. Really bad patch? That wouldn't make it playable. That'd make it less playable. What are you saying? I think, as it stands, though, that is the best and most comprehensive review I can give. There's really only one more thing I can do. And streamgoers, again, I apologize. If you don't mind, I've got my phone at the ready with the alternative chat loaded. And it would be wonderful if you guys simply told me when the stream died. So if you guys can simply notify me when the stream dies, that's going to be the end of this video. But to finish off, let's attempt to load a match so I can put my money where my words are, or whatever that fucking statement is, because I'm really bad at adages. But to demonstrate what I said, watch the CPU bar at the bottom. I think I've still got it loaded. I do. Let's load it up. With any luck, maybe it'll actually stick for a little bit. Maybe we can actually attempt some gameplay this time, if we're lucky. But no worries about that, Kogo. XSplit and Twitch are pretty smart about this. It will simply die. It will not corrupt. So you can actually drop on a point. This is something I didn't demonstrate before. I don't think I'll be able to properly show it off, but this map is interactive. You can select the drop point. I do not believe that will make any difference to what happens next. But I may as well choose something, right? Alright, so now I'd like to point everybody's attention down to the CPU bar down there. It is now at 4 gigabytes memory usage, and it is still climbing. Timer is gone. It's hard to tell if it is back or not. I don't know if I've died or not. I suppose I will chat. The game has returned to focus. I still, again, watch that memory climb though. Oh, you're going to get some lag. You're going to get some choppiness. It's going to get. Guys, we're riding rough one more time. That is simply how things have to go today. The toxic field was halted. I am in the game. Can I? Oh, I moved. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, all right. Can I? Mouse lock. Okay, mouse lock. Oh wow, are we playing? Okay, so yes, but there's. I don't know if you guys noticed a bit of jank. Where the fuck is the toxic field? Where the fuck am I? I guess I'm somewhere safe. All right, cool. Oh, here's a gun. Wow. Switching to a gun caused lag. Oh, so you gotta press E on everything. Alright. So I have a gun. Here's another gun. Now I have this gun. So the announcer is something. These chat names though, I'm not so sure. Oh, it's like a rifle thing. Can I? What is this gun? Can I replace it with this? No, I'd rather. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Right. I mean. You don't have audio. Well, you know, I think we should be considering it a blessing that you guys have anything right now. So, if you're wondering what the announcer's like, he's like, toxic field on the move! And it's like slightly bad audio quality. Like he's got like a sci-fi effect on his voice, but I can kind of tell he didn't have the best mic recording it in the first place. And also he's not really, he's trying to be the Halo guy, right? He's trying to be like the Halo guy, you know, multi-kill. But he's like not as good at it. I mean, hey, I'm not gonna fault him. He's trying his best. But yeah, can you hear me? People are saying they don't have audio. People are saying you hear me, but you don't hear the game, correct? Yeah. Well, that sounds about. Oh god, a person. Probably. What do you mean press R to reload? Why the fuck wasn't this loaded? Right. Well, that was not a laggy fight whatsoever. Oh my god, holy shit. You're not getting drop frames. I'm just going to tell you right... Oh wow, it's very bloody. That was absolutely no drop frames, by the way. You guys saw the exact same thing I saw. If you're wondering. That was the same thing I saw. So how do I heal again? I don't remember. These have to be bots. If I can kill them with this much of a handicap... Okay, another dead player, another giant leg spike. Good times. Toxic field's on the move again? Okay, sure. How do you heal again? I don't remember. Can I can't select controls. That's good. Excellent. Well, I don't remember how to heal. Everybody remember that button? Stream is laggy. Charm, I heard you talk about the every 20 seconds for a psalm. You know... Oh, hold on. Winner, space... Okay. That's nice. Well... Somehow... I won. But those are almost certainly bots. They were all moving the exact same way. I just had to lead them a little bit and they died. I very quickly figured that out. So those were probably bots. And there wasn't that many of them probably either. Well... Hey, we played a match. I know the audio is horribly distinct and stuff, but that's... Comes with the territory of having 6 gigabytes of your computer's memory devoured by a sprite-based game. Well, I suppose that, if anything, is good enough review for me. That was Outworld Battlegrounds. I don't think I have to say anything more.